the reason for parents giving away their children. It's not the reason that they say, I don't want this sex of my girl and I would like to have another one. It's just because they say, yeah, we are not able to care for them properly, and so we give them away so they can have a better life in another family. Well, what I said is that humans should not be produced as if they were if they were a fashion certain people want to have. And if we allow people to choose the sex of their babies, what will happen in 50 years? Will they allow to choose their looks as well, or the color of their eyes? So maybe one time we will totally ignore nature and produce humans such as clothes that should match our style of life. That is not what we want. We shouldn't do that. And that nobody we should be able to choose sexes because it's against nature, as I said. So, to sum up, I told you that it's against nature because it's not natural to say, okay, we're having a baby that is a girl, that is a boy, just because we say, yeah, we prefer that at the moment. And it's not okay to say that, and therefore it's not moral. And also, as I said, people love their children no matter of their sex. And it doesn't care for them. Although they maybe say, okay, at the moment I would prefer a boy for certain reasons, in the end, if it's a girl, they still love it, no matter. And because we shouldn't totally ignore nature and manipulate everything natural, this motion must fall. Thank you.
Speaking time was 5 minutes and 4 seconds.
And 4?
5 minutes.
And 4 seconds.
I now call upon the second speaker for the proposition.
Ladies and gentlemen, today, as the motion is, we believe that parents should have the right to choose their baby sex, their children's sex, before the fertilization of the egg. Ladies and gentlemen, today the proposition team has given us some very interesting propositions, very interesting clauses, if I may. They have said that we say that parents may not love their children because they are of the unchosen sex. However, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we as educated people do know that we are all equal, yet many third world countries, if I may, do not and cannot comprehend this, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we see many parents, many families abandoning their own children due to the sole fact that they are not male or not female. Ladies and gentlemen, even though we believe that the male and the female is equal, we cannot deny the fact that this is currently happening in our world. We cannot deny the fact that is seen. Ladies and gentlemen, we would... no, I will not take you. We would like to ask the proposition team yet again that how this actually is determined to nature, how it is actually a problem to nature. They have simply said it is a problem to nature. However, we would require more expansion on this. We would like more expansion of them. We would like them telling us having the sex we choose is a detriment to nature because of A, because of B, and because of C. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would like to say that yes, families do love their children on almost all of the occasions. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, as we have asked in the POI, families give children to abortion. Families give children to other families, or simply leave them on the doorstep or leave them at a mosque. As we have seen these cliches in many movies, they do happen in real life. And yes, I will take you in a second. And yes, many families give their children due due to the fact that they cannot keep them because they cannot feed them. However, this is only one of the many occasions that families leave their children for. Many of them leave their children for the fact that they do not want the gender. Maybe a farmer family who cannot sustain for themselves has 3 babies and they want a male baby. Because they want the male baby and because they do not want the female baby, or a rich family, because they want the male baby and because they do not want the female baby. For example, because they want to continue their surname, or because they simply trust a male better or a female better, they have the chance and the probability of giving their baby to someone else, not because they cannot take care of it, but because they do not wish for the baby. Yes.
But isn't this a problem that you want to support such parents who just want to choose the people because of their gender?
Yes, we do not support these families, but we would like to say that babies are left on the streets, or rather on other places, because they are not of the gender. Yet if we, no, I will not take you, if we enable parents to choose the sex, if we enable parent A to have a male baby, they will not have the chance of having the female baby and giving it away simply because they want the male baby. And ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would still like an explanation from them of how this is a problem to the whole society, how inequality of children, such as people choosing males over females, would cause a detriment in 20 or 50 years. And ladies and gentlemen, unlike the proposition team has said, today we are able to choose the hair color, the eye color, and the height and physical qualities of a person. And this is legal, ladies and gentlemen. And if we can choose all of these, and if we're able to do this, what different is sex, ladies and gentlemen? I will take you in a second. Disabling sex while enabling some of the other things such as hair color is not okay. It's sexist and it should not be done. Yes, I will take you.
What is your source for saying choosing the eye color of a baby is legal at that time?
I would like to say, when you go to a sperm bank or any other bank, you are able to choose who the father of the baby is. You are able to ask the doctors to change some features of the baby. Ladies and gentlemen, these are all science, and we have the scientific abilities to change these today, ladies and gentlemen. And it is known that we can. This is a proof. And moving on, today we would like to take this argument into 2 groups. First of all, economically, and second of all, how the family and the society's welfare will fare to this. Ladies and gentlemen, my first speaker has fairly explained how families would be better or would be more proper if we actually enable having babies of the chosen gender. I would like to expand more on economical features. Ladies and gentlemen, by enabling this, yes, we live in a capitalist world. Yes, it of course will not be enabled for everyone. It would require some amount of money. Not everyone will be able to do this. Yet, ladies and gentlemen, instead of having 3 babies and wishing that one would be a boy or one would be a girl, no, I will not take you anymore, we can simply choose the sex of our baby, and this will be much more economic, and this will help the welfare of families drastically, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we see in Anatolia, we see families having 10 babies, 9 babies, just because the first 7 or the first 6 are female, and they need a carer for the family, they need a worker for the family, and in Anatolia, in third world countries, they accept the male as the worker, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we do not accept it in our advanced societies, yet, ladies and gentlemen, these people do accept males as the worker, even if they have the opportunity, the money. In many Muslim countries, they want the male to work while the female takes care of the house, takes care of the children. And ladies and gentlemen, this is an undeniable fact, and by enabling this, we would create a much structured society, enabling us to be economically advanced, such as being able to have less of a population and more of the population being productive, ladies and gentlemen. In Anatolia, if we have 9 women whilst we have only 1 man for them, those societies will not let the woman work. However, 1 man would have to work for many children, would have to work for many people. However, by enabling the choosing of the sex by the parents through before the egg is implanted with sperm, before anything happens in the human womb, we enable economical advantages, we enable proper family structures, and we enhance the welfare of the society as a whole. Ladies and gentlemen, by enabling people and parents to choose the sex of their babies, today we're doing a good to the family, good to the society, both economically and structurally. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking time was 7 minutes and 33 seconds. Now I call the second speaker for the opposition.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not produced, but nevertheless loud. I'm the second speaker of opposition, and firstly I would like to have a closer look to the arguments, the proposition that gave so far. Firstly, they said that they will have, we will have economic advantages by deciding what gender or what sex will have a not born children or not born child, and so they said it's an advantage to the parents and the whole family. But I think that's an egoistic thought that the parent can decide before the baby was born which sex it will have. Because when they really love their child, they will not decide in an egoistic way what sex will have this child. So they will not see their own advantages, the advantages of the whole family. They will see what is this child, and they will see in how far they can love this child without knowing if it's a girl or it's a boy. They said that in countries, maybe in the third world, the child or the boys are more accepted in the world of economy or in the world of work, and so they would give parents there the opportunity to decide if they want to have a woman or if they want to have a girl or a man or a boy. And so I think it's not the right way to answer this question of racism of genders or of sex. I think the right way to answer this question is to fight against the racism and to fight against this inequality of genders in the third world countries.
Yeah. So you say that the recession of genders will occur here, but if one gender starts recessing and 20% of the public becomes female, don't you think the demand for females would rise? Then the parents would start choosing females over males as children, balancing the situation out.
No, I would say that we would have, or I will come to this later, but I would say that we would have an unbalanced society when there will be the decision, or when parents will have the decision to decide, and there will we have an unbalanced society maybe in third world countries. They also said, or they also gave us the question, or they want us to answer this question, why it is a problem to nature, and why it's a problem to choose the sex of the child. And so we think, as the opposition, that it is no decision human should make. It's a decision of nature, and it's a decision of not of humans, but of nature. And so
Yes, as your first speaker has said, she did say it was a natural thing, but how is it a natural thing? Why isn't it the choice of the family? Could you please explain this to us?
Why it's not a decision of the parents? Yeah, it's when they produce this child, I would say, you know how to make child. So it's an act of love, and so it's not a fact to reproduce or to take advantage from it. It's a fact that you will love this child and you will give money or whatever, give love to this child without knowing before what's the effects of this. And there I see the problem, and I don't see that we as humans should have the possibility, or we as humans have also the brain to decide what's the best. So they also ask us how punches this decision society. And with this question I will come to my own arguments, because we have several countries in the world where there's no gender equality, like they say in third world countries, and they don't support it, but and so they would like to give them the possibility, but we would like to answer this question or to answer this challenge in another way. No, thank you. For example, in third world countries, boys are more important than girls, and so parents would decide for a boy because of economic reasons or advantages for the family. So when we would give them the opportunity, because out of a traditional background, they would decide for boys, and so we would lead the society to an unbalanced society between boys and girls, because boys are, like they say, more important and more valued in the society. So then we would have, in maybe a few years, a problem of reproduction. Yeah, think about it. When there would be the possibility to change, far less girls would be produced in these societies where girls are not as evaluated as boys are, because maybe they cannot work or they cannot do the same thing boys usually do, working on the field or whatever. And so we would, like I said, we would come to this unbalanced society, which will cause a problem maybe in a few years. And there's the problem of reproduction. And as you all know, men are not able to create children. And yeah, there would be no chance of reproduction, and we would break this. We would have a break in reproduction in these countries, in the third world countries. So to sum up everything in one sentence, ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning of my speech I said, I'm loved, I'm not produced but nevertheless loved, and so I can say, we are not produced, you and you are not produced, but nevertheless you are loved. And for all this reason the motion must fall. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.